Ladies, ladies, time for two guys talking about ladies. Ladies, oh ladies, time
Female.
for two guys talking about ladies.
No, talking about lettuce.
About what?
Lettuce.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
wondering why
Yeah.
I was wondering why we rarely talk about ladies on our podcast, Two Guys Talking About Ladies.
Yeah, because we don't have that podcast. It's two guys talking about lettuce.
Okay, all right. See, I misunderstood. I just this whole time I thought this was two guys talking about ladies, and I'm like, why do we never talk about ladies?
Okay. We rarely talk about lettuce as well. And
Okay. Is that because it's supposed to be talking about ladies?
no, it's really just a random title as an excuse to just talk about whatever we want.
Is that do
you
all
can-
podcasts do that?
No, and in fact, most don't.
So they don't have the same business model that we have.
Yeah, and a lot of them are much more successful than us.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they probably
Yeah.
talk about lettuce all the time then.
I mean, no, I don't think so. They
Okay, I don't really
have.
understand. Oh, they talk about ladies then. They talk about
They
ladies.
probably have specific topics that that are interesting to people, like true crime or things, or things they want to learn, or celebrity guests.
So true
or
crime
experts.
and celebrities are really popular. So if we get on, like, let's say that we get like what's her name, Taylor Dane. She the big popular singer right now. Taylor Dane.
I don't know who Taylor Dane is.
Isn't that
No,
the
I
popular?
think you're-
I'm sorry, Taylor Swift. Is that the
Yeah.
the popular singer? So what if we
Yeah.
get Taylor Swift on here and then we commit a true crime against her? Then that would be like a really popular episode.
It definitely would. It definitely would be popular.
That'd get us a lot of
but
attention.
But we would also get arrested. A true crime podcast isn't actually broadcasting you yourself doing a crime.
I think it's fine to get rest. I think everybody needs a good rest during the day. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a rest.
I agree with you there, but
Yeah.
I said arrested.
Okay,
Which is
so,
different. That's different.
so you're just mispronouncing arrest when you're not take a nice rest. You're mispronouncing
No.
it on purpose.
No. There's one word, arrest. ARREST.
Arrest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to have a nice rest.
Yeah, that's different. Having a nice rest is different than having a arrest.
Should we start the podcast now? Should I start recording?
That seems like a great idea.
All right, hang on. I'm going to start recording.
Okay.
One moment. Now. Okay, now we're recording. Go ahead. Start us off.
Okay, I really hope we were recording that whole time. 'Cause
No. That was just the
That
warm
means
up.
I talked for no reason.
Yeah, for 3 minutes. That's just
Okay.
we do the 3 minute warm up. I mean, don't
Okay.
pretend like we don't always do the 3 minute warm up before we start this thing.
Well, I don't have to pretend because we don't. We don't usually.
Oh my God!
Sometimes.
There's the theme song. Oh, my God, that's weird.
Okay.
A weird timing. 3.5 minutes into it.
Yeah.
Hi everybody,
Yeah.
welcome to Two Guys Talking About Ladies. My name is Greg Benson.
My name is Craig Benzine, and this isn't Two Guys Talking About Ladies. It's Two Guys Talking About Lettuce. But we could talk about ladies if you want to.
Oh my God, I love ladies. You know what? I've always
Okay.
said this. I love the ladies.
Okay. Have you said that?
I say that every time.
Every time what? Every
Every time
episode of
someone
this
says, "Will you?"
podcast?
Every time someone says, "Will you please say if you love the ladies or not?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love the ladies."
Okay. That's a pretty broad statement. Get it?
Whoa, boy, you really girled that one into woman.
What?
I just was trying to do what you did. You used the
No,
word broad, and then I used girl and woman.
I don't. No, you're not. You don't. I don't think you know how wordplay works.
Okay.
I don't think you know how. Yeah. But Greg.
Yes,
Craig.
Craig. Yes. He's got something prepared. I can tell. He's got
I'm
something
back
prepared
on,
right now.
I'm back. No,
Yeah, this is a new thing he's got. This is going to be good,
I'm
guys.
back on coffee, Greg.
Look at this. He's back on coffee. All right, now wait a minute. Now you gave up coffee, and you're like, I think I'm done with coffee for good. And now you're like, I'm back on coffee.
Yep, that's right. But just because I'm very busy, Greg, I have to get a video done, and I just have to stay awake,
Yeah.
and so I have to have to, and I have bad sleep. I'm a notorious bad sleeper. Do you have any tips for helping me sleep more?
Absolutely, I do. First of all, move to a state where marijuana is legal, and then take a marijuana gummy every night, an indica gummy, and that will help you sleep. I've been taking them for years now because they're legal here in Los Angeles, and I sleep through the night beautifully. So that's all you have to do.
No, my experience with marijuana has not been great or relaxing. So I don't.
Have you taken an indica gummy?
I have never taken an indica gummy. No.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. When next time you come to visit here, we'll just try it one night. I'll give you one because they're totally legal here.
I don't know. I have been taking melatonin.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna melt it into your coffee without telling you. You'll have it first thing in the morning. I'm gonna melt like 5 of them into your coffee.
That's probably illegal. And
illegal Ishmeagle. Yeah. That's what I've always said.
Okay. What's Ishmeagle mean? Why do you say that?
I don't. It's just that's a California thing. It's just what we say in California.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a very popular saying out here in California. You doing all right, Craig? Are you all right?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Why do I look like there's something wrong?
No, it's just you sighed as if something was really wrong, and now I'm worried about you.
Oh, I'm okay. I got a lot of work. I got a lot of things to do. Tomorrow, I'm going out with my engineer friend to inspect bridges.
Oh, great! So when you say your engineer friend, you mean he's like a railroad? He's like an engineer on a railroad, and he drives trains.
No.
So and then the trains go over bridges.
No.
It makes sense though that I would think that, right?
I mean, I guess that it does make sense.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Yeah, it does. Because if you want to go inspect bridges, you get with your engineer friend on one of his trains. He drives the train. Does anyone ever own their own train? Is that a thing that someone can be like, this is my own private train?
That doesn't really make sense.
No?
You can't drive a train out and just stop wherever you want and, here's a bridge. Let's check.
If you own your own train, you can,
I guess if you own your own train, which I don't think you can. I don't think that's possible.
I think it is. If you own your own train, build your own track, you could ride that train whenever you wanted, up and down the track.
I guess if you build your own track.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if there's one thing I know for sure, it's trains need a track.
You'd have to build that track on your own property or get
or
others to sign off
Yeah.
to allow you to use their property.
Right. I mean, yeah, you could either build it on your own property or any other property.
No, not legally, or not without permission, which seems very hard to do. I think if I showed up at someone's house and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm building a train track. I would love to just build it on your lawn. Could I just do that? Could I just build right through your lawn?"
Okay.
There'll be lots of big trains going by every once in a while.
Yeah.
Not pretty often, to be honest with you.
Not that often, like every Thursday and Sunday.
Okay.
Just twice a week. Twice a week, you got to train right through your lawn.
Yeah.
Honestly, I learned my lesson the hard way because I built a train through some people's lawns a few years ago, and someone told me you need to get permission, but I misunderstood, and so I got persimmons. And it's I think because I'm verbally dyslexic.
You're dumb.
I'm dumb's another word. Yeah, dumb's another word.
Okay.
But so I misunderstood, and I got persimmons, and I loaded the train full of them, and they're like, "Hey, you can't do this," and I'm like, "Look on the train, it's full of persimmons." And then they took some persimmons, and let me just tell you something. They were good. They were really ripe. That's the thing about persimmons. You got to let them get really ripe.
Yeah, you do. If they're not ripe, they're going to be terrible.
No, they're chalky and horrible. I don't like chalky food.
I agree with you there, but I've never had a persimmon. I don't think I've ever had a persimmon.
All right, when you come out here, I'm gonna put some pot gummies into a persimmon, and I'm gonna shove it down your throat.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then here's the secret.
Sounds painful.
I shove it down your throat. I close your jaw. I push your jaw shut, and I rub your neck. I rub your Adam's apple, which gets you to swallow. It's the same trick I do with dogs when you're trying to get a dog to swallow a pill.
Oh, okay.
You got to close their mouth and rub their neck, and then they go, and then they swallow
it. But this is an entire persimmon. and also I'm a person.
Yeah, I might put a dog pill in a piece of cheese for you also, and I might make you swallow that. You might
Why?
make
Just because that's more familiar to you in this?
It's just what you
when
do.
You're doing this
it's
act?
what you do with dogs
Yeah.
when you want to give dogs medication. I mean, you can't just go like, "Hey, dog, will you please take this pill?" And the dog will go like, "Oh yeah, cool. I could use a glass of water."
Yeah.
You know, they don't even
Yeah.
have opposable thumbs to hold the. Even if you gave them a glass of water, if they asked for it, if they spoke
Yeah.
English, they do not have opposable thumbs. They cannot hold a glass of water. Craig, what are you thinking, man? You need to think before you speak.
I know. I was thinking, and I wasn't speaking. But listen, Greg, I'm not sure I'm going to visit. I just it doesn't.
No, you should. You should. We have so much fun stuff to do here. We'll have a great time. In fact, we had a really fun weekend this weekend. We went out and did all sorts of super fun things.
Oh, and we won't be doing those things when I'm there.
No, I could absolutely take you. We drove to Bakersfield. You know, Bakersfield's only a few hours away, and we saw the world's most
Is that where
medium.
the band Korn is from?
Yeah, and that's where all the bands are from. And
Okay.
we saw
All
the
of them.
world's most medium-sized ball of twine. They have that there, which I thought was amazing. Because, you know, a lot of times you drive through you're driving through rural Ohio, and like they want you to pull off the freeway to see like the world's largest ball of twine.
Yeah. But what constitutes most medium? Do they average the size of all balls of twine?
It's actually really easy. What they do is they get the measurement for the world's largest ball of twine, and then they find out what the world's smallest ball of twine is, and then they just do the calculations and then do it exactly in the middle. So it's the world's most medium-sized ball of twine.
just between the world's smallest and largest, not like an average of all of them.
No. It's just between the. Come on,
Because
man.
I would argue it'd have to be an average of all of them to be the most medium,
You're
which
an
would
arguer.
probably be a pretty normal-looking ball of twine.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're an arguer. You like to argue. I mean, I personally don't care for it.
Okay, I wouldn't call it. It's not that I like to argue. I just have an opinion about what would constitute the most medium.
Okay. Well, I don't need any more of your arguments.
Okay.
So we did that. That was fun. We went to the Farts Museum. You know.
Oh,
That's
in Bakersfield.
No. That's I was about to say it was in my butt. No,
I know.
that's-
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
It's too easy. No, we did go to the Farts Museum, and it's much bigger than you think. They recommend that you spend at least 8 to 10 hours there because it's a really large museum.
Oh, it's like the Louvre, kind of.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been to the Smithsonian Museum. It's about 3 times the size of the
Oh
Smithsonian.
my God.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Why so big? And
gotta have
in Bakersfield?
room. As there's a lot of farts in there.
How do you contain them? Like,
That's the thing.
they dissipate.
Yeah.
Is it the whole place completely airtight?
Yeah, that's each room is an airtight room. That's why it takes up so much room. You got to go into each room.
Can you breathe okay?
You go
in
through
there?
an airlock. Well, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
Okay. So how did you survive? Did you go in?
Held
Did
my
you-
breath for most of the time, honestly.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you got to breathe, and you're like, oh God, it smells like
Is there
a
an
fart
air
in here.
pressure issue? Is it because it's so airtight? Or
Yeah,
is it-
I don't even know how it works. All I know
Okay.
is I don't recommend anybody going there. It's a horrible place. It's like torture, really.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
the Farts Museum is
So-
like torture.
Yeah. So you did this weekend. This is what
Yeah.
you did
And
for
we
last-
also, you know how sometimes community colleges have those free lectures. So we went to a free lecture that talked about the differences between cantaloupe and an antelope. And that was fascinating because, I mean, it just goes to show you could be any age and you could still learn new things.
Yeah. Right. But did you learn anything new with that lecture?
Yeah. A cantaloupe is a fruit.
Yeah.
And an antelope.
I knew that.
An antelope isn't.
Yeah.
So
you knew that. Everyone knows that.
I didn't know that. I thought they were the same.
Okay. Well, every lecture must be so interesting for you. Every single one.
I do love lectures. I am a lecture fan. I'm a fan of lectures.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I know that you actually prepared what you're saying now for this episode,
Nope.
didn't you?
I
No.
did not.
No,
No, this is all off the cuff.
Okay, sure. So we're gonna go to Bakersfield when I'm out there. Could we just maybe not? Could we not do that? Where else?
Yeah, I
could we
mean,
go?
if you'd rather just hang out, listen to music, float in the pool, eat barbecue, that's fine. We can just do that
Yeah.
instead. Yeah.
Go to some good restaurants,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, you prefer that kind of stuff? We could eat barbecue at home and then go to barbecue restaurants and then compare.
Sounds great.
We could
cook
just
barbecue.
You could be here for a whole week, and all we eat is barbecue. The whole week, nothing but barbecue.
I mean, we could probably mix it up. We could try it. We could.
I don't know. Let's just
try
eat
other
barbecue.
things. I mean, there's great Korean food. There's great sushi that
So,
I've had last time.
I ate
there's-
great Korean food a couple of days ago. Our Kim's dad was in town. That's my father-in-law, and he's a very
Mm-hmm.
sweet man. And so we one time when on Monday, actually a couple of days ago, when Charlie was at school. But by the way, if you guys are doing the math, that means that today's a Wednesday. We're recording this. If you guys did math, anyway, or if you did meth, either one, it's still Wednesday.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. It's Wednesday.
Good. Okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
so we went to this Korean restaurant, and let me tell you, this is a fascinating story. It was really delicious.
Okay. Yeah. And
That's it.
And?
It's a fascinating story, but it's a short story.
okay.
We went to a Korean
So,
restaurant. The food was delicious.
That might be interesting to you because you ate the food.
It
but,
was. I did eat. I ate it with my face
yeah.
mouth. I did. I put it right
Okay.
in my face mouth, right in
Now,
here.
do you have other mouths?
No. I
Have
just
we
have
had
the
this
mouth.
conversation before?
I have the mouth on my face. It's my
Okay.
face mouth.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've had this conversation. We've gone down this road before. With
Well,
your
I mean,
face mouth and
you
other
always make a
mouths.
big deal over everything I say, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking English words, and I put the food into my face mouth, and I ate it up. Yum 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 yum. It was so delicious.
Okay. What kind of Korean food was it?
Food from Korea.
Like what? Like
We had some short rib, which is turns out that's meat.
yeah.
It's
Everyone
got,
knows that.
It's got meat in it.
Yeah. Animals have ribs. And,
Oh yeah, and then some of them are
so-
short. So we had short ribs, and they were honestly the best short ribs I've ever had. Very tender, tender and
You want to
delicious.
name what this restaurant was, or no?
You know what? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll tell you, it's a place. It's a place here in the valley. I think it was in Reseda, and it's called. It might be called Moose or something like that. It's Musse. So anytime anyone visits Reseda, California, go to Moose, Musse. It is a Korean soup restaurant, but they have way more than just soup. We also did have some Korean soup. We had some spicy beef broth soup. Spicy beef broth soup.
Okay.
Bone,
you don't
bone,
have to,
beef.
No, you don't
beef,
have to-
Bone broth.
Are you doing
bone
vocal
broth.
exercises?
Beef,
Is this
spicy
some
bean,
sort of
beef bone broth?
is this an actor thing? Are you doing like vocal exercises?
It's what all actors do before they warm up. You know, like if someone's playing like Abraham Lincoln, for instance, then
Yeah.
they're in the back. They're in the backyard. I guess before they go on, they're in somebody's backyard going spicy beef bone broth, beef bone broth.
Now why is it the beef bone broth?
I wish I had a dime for every dime I had. See, these are all the common actor exercises. Bend
Okay.
over, Mr. President.
Okay.
Bend over. It's just to warm up your voice.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why you had to reference a president bending over there.
Well, sometimes presidents drop things just like anybody else. And they're like, how do I get that thing off the floor? And you're like, bend over, Mr. President.
I think a president would know how. Although
You know, here's the deal. Presidents are so busy doing all that world stuff because they do a lot of world stuff.
sure. And country. And
Yeah,
country.
country stuff, world stuff. It's weird how much world stuff our country president does because, like, we have our own country, but he keeps doing stuff like and I say he because we've never had a female president. We were going to, but then she lost. Anyway, so I mean, she got more votes, you know, but she still lost.
Yeah, that's true. She
Yeah.
she got the popular vote. for
Yeah,
sure.
she got more votes and then lost. That's because that happens. That happens sometimes. Anyway.
Yep.
So sometimes we have country presidents and they do world stuff, and I guess it's a necessity that they do that to try to keep the peace, you know, and stuff. But frankly, I don't know. Wouldn't it be great if they could just do country stuff? Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be pretty good, but we also have by far the world's largest military, and we are stationed everywhere in the world.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, frankly, I would call us a superpower.
You know, if you
By the way, for anyone who's listening outside of the United States, the country that I'm referring to right now is the United States of America.
yes, I think people know that. I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like if they're listening from, say, the Antarctic, they might not know what country we're talking about.
Why wouldn't they know what country we're talking about if they were in the Antarctic?
Well, because it's very far
they're
away.
Farther away.
Yeah, and they're out of touch, and it's really cold there.
Oh.
Like they get a thing called brain freeze, I've heard, because it's so cold it makes your brain hurt.
I would argue, though, I would bet that the people in Antarctica are probably didn't grow up there. They probably are from other places.
I guess a lot of people are born there, though. A lot of people are born and grow up there.
No, I would say maybe none. Maybe none of them are
I
born
bet there are people
yeah.
who have. I bet that there's a lady who got pregnant and then she gave birth to like septuplets or something.
I mean,
in the Antarctic.
No. I very much doubt the septuplet scenario. But it's possible that someone has given birth in the Antarctic.
Do you think that they gave birth and then let's say there's septuplets? Do you think that there'd be like 4 humans and then 4 penguin babies because it's the Antarctic?
I don't think. No, I don't think that you can successfully mate with a penguin. I don't think a human can successfully.
Well, we can try.
Well, you can successfully try.
We can certainly try.
I don't think it's legal to try. I mean, I don't know what the law is in Antarctica actually, but I actually don't know the details of any bestiality law to be honest with you. But
is that why you break them so often?
No, maybe I do. Maybe I'm supposed to, and I don't. Maybe I'm supposed to have sex with animals, and I don't. Maybe because I don't.
Oh,
know.
Craig.
What?
You just got canceled. You just said maybe I'm supposed to have sex with animals. Craig Benzine.
Well, that's what you just said. If you want to take what I said wildly out of context.
If I want to just quote words that you actually said, then that's out of context.
Yeah. Yes, that's still out of context. Out of context is taking words someone actually said out of whatever they were referencing at the time.
You said that you wanted to have sex with animals. And I said I wouldn't do that if I were you. And you said, but it's what I want to do. If people rewind the video or audio or what, if people rewind the 8-track tape or whatever they're listening to this on, they're going to hear that you said that you want to have sex with animals. And I said, I don't think you should do that. I think that you should respect animals' physical privacy.
Okay, you're completely recreating a conversation that didn't happen.
Craig, I love doing this podcast with you.
Yeah, I enjoy it too, Greg.
Yeah, it's fun times, and especially when it's time for the Patreon-only bonus section, which starts right now.
This portion of Two Guys Talking About Lettuce has been edited out for your listening inconvenience. If you wish to hear the complete, unedited version with the bonus talking, be sure to visit patreon.com/2guystalkingaboutlettuce. And now, back to the edited, not as good version of the podcast.
And that's the end of the Patreon-only bonus section.
Okay. Now what do we do?
Well, we talk about the title of this episode. I was listening to a previous episode, just a couple episodes ago. You and I talked about how we were going to call the next episode "Here's the Thing," and then we didn't. And I feel bad because it's almost like we've lied to our listeners. And I want to apologize for Craig. On behalf of Craig, that he lied to you guys, because, it's time.
Craig, you have a problem admitting fault. You have a problem admitting.
No, I'm not. It is your fault, and I admit it. It is your fault that we did not call the episode.
Have you ever been wrong about anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Name something you've been wrong about.
Sometimes I'm wrong about trusting you about naming the episodes.
Okay. Yeah, how about something you're wrong about that has nothing to do with me?
Okay. Sometimes I'm wrong in putting my trust on other people like you. I said you. I didn't say you. I said like you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. How about something not involving anyone else but you?
Yep.
How about can you name?
Yes.
Can you admit fault?
I do.
Something that was entirely your fault.
Yes.
That had nothing to do with anyone else.
Sometimes I forget how completely perfect I am.
Is that okay?
That's a fault of mine. That's a fault. Sometimes I do forget how completely perfect and amazing everything about me is.
Okay, even if that were true, why would that be a fault if you forgot that? What would be wrong with that?
You know, I feel like right.
Okay. The microphone's cutting out.
Yeah,
okay.
I know it's weird. Sometimes the microphone cuts out when I gave such a good answer.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Now you guys can't hear that because that
is weird because the microphone. I've never heard the microphone cut out in that way before.
I know it's weird. It's really strange.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a joke for you.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
All right, who's there?
Samuel
who?
Samuel L. Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, the author of many celebrated books and humorous essays.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty cool.
That's not a joke. That was just
you didn't know what the answer, did you? It was a surprise. Like that's the thing about a joke, is it's the element of surprise.
It was an extremely mild surprise is what it was.
You saw it coming?
I mean, I didn't feel very surprised.
Okay.
But I didn't know exactly where you were going to go with that. No.
Yeah. Do you like humorous essays?
I do. Good ones.
Yeah. Well, he was famous for writing very good ones.
Yeah.
Also famous for his racism.
Yeah, he had some.
Yeah, there was some racism there, but that was back in a time. As a different time, as they say. Everybody was racist back then.
But like, you could make the argument like Huck Finn, for instance.
Yeah.
Elements of racism in there, but his overall point was to criticize racism.
Good. That's better. That's better. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever read Huck Finn. I understand it's got some offensive terms in it.
Yes. Were they offensive at the time? Yeah, probably to some people.
Some people, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, as I said, not everybody was racist back then. Some people were racist, some people were not racist.
Yeah, but now, today, no one's racist? Or
oh no, I think more people are racist today.
Well, there are more people.
That's why.
In total.
That's why there are more people.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like this world is divisive.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
You think the world would be better if everyone thought like me or you?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're pretty open-minded, kind and loving people,
Yep.
But listen, let's talk about something a little more important. I noticed as I'm looking in the video here that I've got this spot on my nose that's been getting darker lately, and I may have to go to a dermatologist. I don't know what this is, and I'm hoping it's not anything bad, but as you get older, you just start to get like little spots and things on you, and I've got a spot on my nose. I don't want a spot like that on my nose.
I got this guy right here.
You got a spot on your nose? Is that new?
It's kind of a lump. No, it's been there for, I don't know, the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, my dermatologist, I've gone to him before, and it's like, what is this? He goes, oh, we call them birthday presents, which I think is hilarious. He's just, you get older and you get things on your face and stuff. Yeah. And I don't think there's anything to do about like a spot like that on my nose. I don't know if I can get that lightened or removed.
And that's the moneymaker, your face right there.
It is a moneymaker. I know. I don't want to have to like start putting on makeup every time I audition for something. I have an audition today I have to do for the television show Bel Air. There's my script right there. I can't show you, but I can just kind of wave it around a little bit. I got a couple pages with some dialogue and stuff on it.
Okay. All right. I thought about going to the dermatologist too, but my face is less the moneymaker, I think, than yours.
I don't know. I mean, you get on video, and like if all of a sudden you're like, if, let's say that like someone broke into your house and stole your nose, and you woke up the next morning, you just had like a huge hole in the middle of your face.
No. See, that would be amazing. I'd probably get so many views on that if I told people that someone stole my nose.
Yes, yeah, but I think after a while, people would be like, I don't want to watch those videos of that guy with the huge gaping hole in his face. They'd just be like, I don't want to watch that anymore.
I don't think it's that my appearance is as important on YouTube as your appearance is on commercials. I just don't. I don't
Well,
think it's.
I think that's true. I feel like I don't really
Yeah.
do commercials anymore. It's been several years since I've booked one. I've
Or on
moved
TV,
now I just
you know.
get TV shows and movies
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, TV. Same thing though. And maybe not. Maybe your appearance doesn't matter that much, but the people who cast you think it does. So that matters.
One time, Kim cast a guy, and this is actually true. Kim cast a guy in a production, and he had no nose. He lost it. I believe he lost it in Operation Desert Storm.
Wow.
Somehow lost his
Okay.
nose in, I believe it was Operation Desert Storm. And she was casting a zombie 360 thing, which was shot, and it was beautiful. Had me in it, had Jack Vale, had Leanna Vamp, and lots of people were in this thing, and including this guy who played a zombie, and he had a removable nose. Normally he just wore a nose, and you didn't realize it was a prosthetic. He removed it, so that when they put on all the zombie makeup, he just looked like this guy who had a hole in his face, because he did, and people probably would have seen that and gone like, "How the hell did they do that makeup?"
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, just like when you see like war pictures, as they call them, war pictures,
Is that what they call them?
motion
Is that-
pictures, and
yeah.
and you see
Sure.
people who are on the ground, and they're like, and they have they've lost a limb, or they don't have any legs. Well, they really do cast people who don't have limbs and legs and stuff like that.
Have you ever been in a war picture?
Gosh, no, I haven't.
Huh.
Closest
never been in-
closest I've gotten was a terrorist picture.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in the Flight 93 movie called The Flight That Fought Back. About United 93. That
I saw the movie United 93. There's another movie? The
yes,
Flight
they
That Fought
made
Back?
two movies. There's United 93 and there's The Flight That Fought Back. And I had one of the roles in that. Was one of the guys.
Was it good? Was it a good movie?
It was actually very good. I feel like it was one of my best performances, honestly.
Oh, you were a passenger?
I was.
You do remind me of a passenger on an airplane.
Thank you. I have flown on airplanes before.
Yeah.
And there you go.
I've never been on a plane with you. How do you behave on a plane?
A lot of screaming.
Okay, from you?
Yeah.
A lot of screaming?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
A lot of screaming
Why?
from. I like to liven it up a bit. A lot of times
Okay.
a plane trip can get boring, and you want to make it memorable for everyone on there.
No, I don't think that people care if the flight is memorable. I think people just are using the flight to get from one place to another. I don't think you need to.
I have a true story for you.
Okay. Uh-oh.
You know how if you fly every once in a while, just by chance, you get upgraded to first class. If you fly regularly, every once in a while, it just happens. They're like, we're going to upgrade you, and you're like, what? Thank you. So
What?
So I got upgraded to first class on a flight from West Coast to East Coast, a nice long flight, and I was so excited. And they put me in the very first row on the aisle, and I was like, holy shit! Here I am in row 1, aisle seat. Big,
You made
wide,
it.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to sit there. They're going to bring me a nice, soft, warm chocolate chip cookie. They're going to bring me a warm towel to clean my hands and put on my face and go, all that fancy stuff that they give you that people normally pay like an extra $2,000 for. Every once in a while, you get it upgraded for free. It's rare now, but anyway, it happens.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Could you just get the $2,000? I think I'd rather ask for that. Instead.
I would, yeah. If that was an option, I'd say I'll take the $2,000 and I'll just go sit in a middle seat in the back row of the plane
Right.
by the bathroom. That's fine. I get paid $2,000 just to be inconvenienced for 4 hours. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm sitting there and I'm so excited. I'm okay.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
It's funny that I was coughing because that's what the story's about. So
I
I'm
wasn't
sitting
concerned
there.
until you yelled, "I'm okay."
I'm
But
all right.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So before the plane takes off, the guy who's sitting in the aisle seat across from me in row 1, a businessman in a suit, gets up, and apparently he has stored a bag directly over me on my side. So he gets up, he opens that to reach to get something out of his bag, and so he's reaching up, but he's sort of facing down towards me, and he starts coughing this huge, wet, sick cough. Like the guy's really sick, like, and he's coughing, and I can feel like the particles from his, like he's literally 2 feet from me, and he's coughing facing directly down at me, and I'm looking up like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's just reaching in his bag, coughing directly on me. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. And
Wow.
yeah.
You didn't say that though.
No, I didn't say it. What I did was I grabbed him by the hair on the back of his head, and I just smashed it on the bulkhead. Just
Okay.
bam, bam,
Or
bam,
no,
bam, bam,
that
bam,
seems-
really fast, like
no,
7 or 8
no.
times. And the whole front of his face, just like
Greg.
he broke his nose,
Greg.
his whole front of his face caved in.
You know,
I was like, bam, bam,
thought
bam,
he was.
bam, bam, bam,
I
bam.
thought he was the bad guy in this story, but now it sounds like you're the bad guy.
Okay, maybe I didn't do that last part, but that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
do.
Okay,
because
sure.
what the shit is that? What the
I know.
shit is a guy who just coughs direct, like 2 feet away from you? If that, might have been a foot and a half. Might have been
And was
only
it-
18, 17 inches.
And this is first class. Aren't these
First
people
class.
supposed to be classy? Aren't
Yeah,
they supposed to-
turns out this was just some privileged, probably wealthy, first class business asshole.
Was it Joe Biden?
No. What are you talking
Oh.
about? Of course it wasn't. He would never do that. What are you talking about?
Was
No,
it-
was just some fucking asshole.
Ron DeSantis?
I should have smashed his face against the bulkhead, and I regret not doing that. And
No,
I,
Greg. That's you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
You did the right thing.
I
by
did the
not
right by
smashing-
not saying anything or doing anything.
Well, I don't know. You could have said something.
I looked up at him like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And he didn't even
Yeah.
he didn't even acknowledge. He didn't even go, "Sorry." He didn't even do any of that. Just some
Yeah.
selfish piece of shit. And it honestly, that kind of put a damper on my first class experience. And then I bet you're wondering,
Mm-hmm.
oh, how sick did you get after that, Greg? How sick did you get from that man's germs?
I was wondering that. How sick did you get from that man's germs?
I didn't get sick.
Okay. All right.
I guess maybe he was at the end part of a cold when the cough was lingering. It was a
maybe it
nasty
was-
sounding wet cough.
Or maybe it was a smoker's cough, and he was like, "Ah, it's cool. It's not contagious. It's a smoker's cough."
Could have been, but still,
Yeah.
it was so gross and nasty, and I still
Mm-hmm.
can't believe that guy did that. Like, what's wrong with people? You see those pictures that people share of people like
Yeah.
taking their shoes off and putting their feet in between the seats, and so you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting there, and someone's bare foot is right next to you, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck's wrong with people? They don't.
I
You
remember-
guys don't own the airplane. You know, we're in this together.
There was a flight I was on. I think it was on the way to Europe. I think.
Yeah.
And the guy, it's also a coughing story, but it was this older guy. He wasn't sitting right next to me. He didn't cough on me, but once every 5 to 10 minutes, he would scream cough. It was like a like really, like it was like he was making fun of coughing while he was coughing and doing it so loud. And then I grabbed him by the hair and I smashed his face in 8 times on the seat in front of him.
Okay, and you really did that?
No, I didn't really.
Oh shoot! I was gonna get so excited if you actually really did
Yeah.
that. You have to grab
Yeah.
them by the hair on the back of the head because then their neck sort of goes back and they don't really know. They're like they're like a
Yeah.
turtle, you know, like
Yeah.
Their head just goes up
Sure.
like a turtle, like this. See?
Yeah. That does look like a turtle.
Yeah. And how turtles always go when you grab them by the hair on the back of the head.
No, turtles don't have hair.
The ones that I know do. I mean, I know
should
some
not
pretty
grab a turtle.
some pretty
You should
hairy
not.
turtles.
Do not try to grab a turtle. Do not try to breed with a turtle. Do not do any sort
You knew
of
that
thing.
was next. I was going to talk about breeding
Yeah.
with a turtle.
Yes, I did.
Can a penguin breed with a turtle?
No, probably not.
Shoot,
Yeah.
because I bet that would be adorable, like a penguin
turtle?
but it's got one
Yeah.
of those shells. You know, it's got
That
like
would
a
be pretty
turtle
amazing.
shell.
Yeah.
Little penguin sticking out, waddling with that shell. That'd be
That would be
hilarious.
pretty great.
I want to
Greg,
get one of
pretty
those. I'm gonna see if I can breed that.
great. Okay. You're gonna get a penguin and a turtle.
I'm gonna get a penguin and a turtle. And I'm gonna breed them and see what happens. And
what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get them to breed? What are you gonna?
I'll just put on like some Anita Baker. You know,
Okay.
light
All
some
right.
candles. You know.
Okay.
And
Sure.
I just said Anita Baker because I remember I had a girlfriend in college, and this is actually true. And she made a reference that we could fool around, and she'd put on Anita Baker. And I was like, well, why? And then we did. We fooled around, and she put on Anita Baker. And I don't really care for the music that much, but it was important to her that we listened to Anita Baker while fooling around.
Okay.
And That's the end of that
Are
story.
did you just bring that up just because you want people to know that you had sex?
I did have sex with a lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. It was pretty good too. It's pretty good.
Look at us talking about ladies.
That's the name of this podcast, you know? Two guys
Yeah.
talking about ladies. And by the way, guys, if you're ever talking with a lady and you say something that offends her, you need to right that wrong, and you need to give her a heartfelt apology from the depths of your soul. And you need to just say, look, I'm really sorry I offended you. And then you need to offer something to make it right. You need to say, to make this right, I will make love to you in any position you want. And I'll make sure that it's good for both of us.
Okay, that's not. That I don't.
You need
I
to.
don't-
It's up to her whether she accepts it or not. But you need to offer that as
Yeah.
you need to offer reparations. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What if she doesn't want to make love in that moment?
Then she'll say, "Thank you. I'm going to pass on the love making." And then, then maybe like you buy her a cupcake or whatever. Women love cupcakes because they're like cakes, but they're much smaller. Do you know that about cupcakes?
Yes.
They should call them small cakes, because I've
Well,
never
they're
had
also-
one in a cup.
Yeah, they are. They're in a little cup. They're in a little like cup thing.
They're in paper. I don't think that you can
Yeah.
say this. Like if someone says, "Oh, do you want a cup of soup?" You go, "Yeah," and I don't think. And if they handed you soup in a little cupcake paper, I don't think that you go like, "Thank you. I love my soup in paper." So it's not a cup. It's not a cup. It's just paper.
I don't follow your.
It's-
your. I mean, it's. You could argue that that's a little cup. It's just. It's in the shape of a cup. It's
No,
a paper
if you
cup.
if you open up that paper, it's a circle. It's just a circle of
Well, if
paper
you-
that
if
they've
you open
wrapped around.
Okay,
cake.
like a little Dixie cup. If you open that up, it's also just a circle, but
Well,
it's still a cup.
Who's gonna unwrap a Dixie cup? And also
it's the same-
it
yeah.
will not be a circle, because if you have to open up a Dixie cup, you tear
Mm-hmm.
you have to break it apart at the seam. The circle will not be complete. You know. And I say, may the circle
Yeah.
be unbroken.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
say. That's what I say.
Okay.
That's what I say.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Are you done?
Yeah. But from now on,
Yeah.
can we just start calling cupcakes small cakes? You know, like,
No.
hey, do you want me to
Because
buy you a
no.
cake or a small cake?
No, because a small cake is already a thing. It's just a small cake. It's just a cake that's
You know,
smaller.
like one that's this big that's served in paper, in a round piece of paper. That's a small cake.
Just when you think of the size of a cake,
Yeah.
think of the size of a cake in your
Yeah.
head right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A small
got it.
cake is smaller than that.
Fine.
But still cake. But still a cake.
So cupcakes we call extra small cakes. All right. So that's all. You have cake. You have small cake.
No,
you have
okay.
extra
Now
small
think of a
cake.
small cake in your head.
Uh-huh.
Extra small cake is also a cake.
It's
just
a cupcake.
smaller than that.
It's
just
basically a
smaller than that.
cupcake. Yeah.
No.
And I think, you know what? I think everybody's ready to say goodbye to the paper wrapping around cupcakes, you know, because I don't know a single person who eats that paper wrapping. They always take it off
Yeah.
before they eat it anyway. So why
Right.
don't we just
But
get
you
rid of
gotta-
that paper? We're wasting paper.
No, when the cupcake is in transport, it's
Yeah.
okay. You should have the paper there to hold it.
Why? You don't when you
if
have a
it's-
large cake. There's no
It will
paper around a
crumble
big
and
cake.
crumb when you carry it.
I don't
without
agree.
The paper.
That doesn't happen with big
Okay.
cakes. Why would it happen with an extra small cake?
You don't carry a big cake by the sides of the cake. Then you'd get frosting all over your hands. You carry it at the
There's
bottom.
no frosting on the side of an extra small cake. There's no frosting.
Oh, on the side of a cupcake.
An
Sure.
extra small. They're now called extra small cakes. They're not called cupcakes
Okay.
anymore. That's so
Okay.
2022.
It doesn't matter. There's still cake there, and you could hold it a little too tightly, and it could crumb. And
Okay, well, what happens when you're walking around with a large cake and you're holding it too tightly? Then what
also,
prevents that from?
It's like if I'm going to hand you a cupcake, you want
Yeah.
my fingers all over the part that you're going to eat? Do you want? Is that what you want?
Of course, if
Like
it
if I-
saves paper. Look, Craig, I'm
like if
trying
I
to
hand
save
you-
the world here. I'm trying to save
Like
the
if I
world.
hand you-
You want to just cut down trees willy nilly.
Like if I'm bringing you a plate with a hot dog on it, like,
Yeah.
oh, here's your hot dog, and then I like grab the hot dog, the
No,
inside part of the hot dog. And
A hot dog, you should always use those little cupcake round papers, and you should
okay.
wrap the hot dog in the cupcake
Okay.
paper. That's. I mean, that goes without saying.
I've
you know what?
never
Because a
seen
hot
that.
dog is wet.
Sure.
You know, you
Well,
don't put your fingers on
not
a
all-
wet hot dog.
Not always. No, a hot dog isn't necessarily wet.
Speaking of putting your fingers on a wet hot dog, that's the end of this week's Two Guys Talking About Lettuce. My name is Greg Benson.
My name is Craig Benzine.
Please do not put your fingers all over a wet hot dog before handing it to your friends. Use the protective round cupcake paper like you're supposed to. Until next
You know
week.
what? I'm just going to go ahead and agree. That's
Great.
fine.
That's easier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Until
Yeah.
next week, we will see you next week. Next week, right here. Next week.
Wait. So until next week, we will see you next week. That means 2 weeks.
I don't understand how it works.
Okay. All right. Bye.